This time on Woody's Garage, let's get that throttle hitched up. Vroom vroom.
Okay, today I'm going to see if I can sew up the back of the Roma Nova seat that I want to use. These snaps, these two totally broke. I want to see what was inside. There's foam, and then there's a wood block in the middle, and I'm just scared if I pull it out of there, the thing's just going to deteriorate because it's old. I'm going to leave it be. I'm going to just shoot some screws up into it. Yeah, it's not the best idea, but I'm also going to put a handle on the back of the bike that you can grab instead of grabbing the seat. So it should be okay. So we're going to use this needle, nice loopy thing with dual duty thread, and see if we can stitch this thing up. Hopefully it won't look too horrible. Not exactly Betsy Ross, but it's getting there. I probably, to start with, I really needed this curve one, but now I can kind of pinch it together like this and go right through. So a straight one probably would have been better. Just getting the hang of it a little more over here. Let's release the clamp. Rock and roll. Okay, we pulled the Briggs 4-horse off the Roma Nova, and because I really want to hitch up the throttle and I want to try to hitch it up right, and you can see that as it sits, it wants to be wide open. So I think the guess was that this was on a rototiller, so it'll be kind of run throttle wise by the governor. Now, I'm not going to pretend I really understand these setups, and it kind of blows my mind that way back in the 60s when I had my mini bike, who the hell knows how I hitched up the throttle, but it always worked, and now it seems to kind of elude me. So I think the first thing I want to do is set the governor right, and how you do that is let me get some light over here. You hold the throttle open wide, like a yay, like this. Then you get the light back over here. Then you loosen this guy up, and then you turn this clockwise to the right, the centerpiece here. So I think I can do that with getting a screwdriver in there. So loosen that. Yeah. Okay, we got that. Then hold the throttle wide open like it is right now. And since it is, I guess I can still leave the camera going. And we'll put the screwdriver in there and turn. And geez, looks like it was adjusted right. So, wide open. Yep, it's going to need to tighten it back up. Okay, I just noticed too that I'm missing a cable holder, which I think goes here, or perhaps here. When you move this guy, which is where the throttle's supposed to be hitched up to, nothing moves. So we're going to have to dig into this a little bit. The only thing I got working is the governor. And not this business, and this business is what I need to get it going. Okay, I really can't figure out this 4-horsepower governor throttle setup, so the hell with it. I'm going to do something. I'm going to just make it so it works. Maybe the governor won't work at all. So I took the back of this and I twisted this so a throttle and drilled it so a throttle cable can go through. And the throttle cable will attach here. And then I'm going to use this instead of for the governor. I'm going to use it for the throttle. Then this, I don't know if it's going to make any difference at all. Why would a governor really work anyway with a throttle? I'm talking out my ass. No, it should. I'm just going to hitch this spring from this to that arm and say the hell with it and pretend that like it's working. So we're going to have to take this off to get this arm. A little cotter pin in there. So we randomly got the governor arm just sitting there like that. Okay, so we got the old one in here. We got the top. It's got to go through this eye here, so I got to loosen this up in order to get it through. Hopefully I won't screw up any of the other linkage at the same time. I saw another video where it explained what these springs were for, since I always thought it just was to kind of keep things tight. It's actually to keep them from rattling, so they don't rattle on the engine and make noise when it's running. So we will incorporate that in the hole, but let's get that on. So that'll certainly work, and I knew that right off the bat. But governor, I don't know, put this spring to that. What difference does that, oh, can we see it here? From there to there, I mean, is that going to do anything? Probably not. I don't know, I'm just dying to get it together. Okay, I took off the shroud. I probably should have done this a long time ago. Would have made access a little bit easier. We see all sorts of wires in here. I think Josh said that he swapped this out for a solid state, no points coil. We got a kill wire there. We got a kill wire there, and this has to be from the old points here. So I kind of wanted to clean that up. But at the same time, it's like, I don't want to use this kill that was over here, because when you shut the throttle down, it would turn off. I don't want that. So we're going to nick that one, I think, and just use this one that was added on here. Probably do a handlebar kill switch. But, I can clean some of the gunk out of it too. This is like the dirtiest damn engine. But it'll be so much easier to see this stuff too. So let's see if we can put it together after we get rid of some of this gunk. You got about a pound of grease off of it. Not really clean, but when the engine's warm, it's easier to wipe down. But, I got most of the fins clean so that the air can pass through. And we're not looking for a show engine here at all. So, let's put that car back on. And when we were kids, we always used to paint these. So I think I'm going to paint this one white, so it kind of shows up. So here's the deal. I'm going to run the spring from there to here. What it's going to do, I don't know. To here, I'm sorry. To here. Just for the heck of it. Keep things from clanking around, I guess. So that's wide. And maybe if you put this arm up higher, maybe it would have an effect on it. I don't know. I'm just happy it works. It's not like I'm going to be riding around with it wide open. Well, maybe I will. Yeah, I've seen a lot of videos where people complaining about this bolt screw, as I have before, but with the shroud off, I'm telling you, it's a lot easier. Maybe that's the key. And yes, it still works. I'm going to find a way to do a return spring, but I think I'm going to put a spring right over the cable, a compression spring right over the cable, so it'll always be pushing back. We'll have to locate that, and that spring's hanging in there. That little spring that's on the rod is falling off. Okay, and the governor's not doing a damn thing. So cable's going to go through here. Pretty short throw, be a quick throttle. And this is a cable clamp that I took off something else. And it's kind of wobbly, And when I tighten it down, it doesn't like have a slot to stick in or something like that. It's really not quite right. So, and I want this to be easy because it's way under the engine. You know, it's hard to get to. So I want it to be easy and right. Okay, so here's the throttle. We got it clamped in here. That seems like that'll work okay. I got 2 springs. I'd much rather use just one, but this is what we got 2. Now I got to find my cable ends, and I know I got a bunch of them. But they were right over here in my mini bike collection stuff. I gotta look around for those. I was just about to give up and go into something else, and I found them. I have probably like 20 of these things all over the basement. Nuts and bolts, and I just, you know, don't put them away. I think this one will do. Unless I got a smaller one. There's a smaller one. Smaller one with a bigger hole. That's weird, huh? Okay, we'll go through them and find the right one. Okay. It works. It works good too. The only thing that sucks about it is that there's no adjustment here. Well, I suppose I can loosen this up and move the cable, but there's no, like, you know, screw adjuster on either part, which stinks. But, you know, maybe I'll get a better throttle or something like that at some point. But this is a go. This works. Now it's time to clean up this air filter. I like these old types. Even has a screen that goes down there. You know, first they eliminated that. You know, then they made them. Then they kind of eliminated this, I think. And they just got cheaper and cheaper as time went on. But so I like this one. I'd like to clean it up and use it. I might actually have an element that fits this, but we'll clean it up first. Clean. Looks a lot better. See if I got a filter to put in here. So I thought I had an air filter kicking around. I really did. My stash of mostly Tecumseh parts that I picked up in that batch of stuff I got from the older guy. But I just can't come across it right now. And all this clutter, it's probably someplace, but it might even be too old and brittle to use. So I'll probably order up one. And I was kind of wondering how you... I know they have models. I don't know what model this would be, but I'm sure I can find it. Let's mount the engine and the throttle. New mounting bolts from Lowe's, 5/16. Okay, engine's loosely mounted. Few observations. One, with the chain this long, it is pretty far back. I don't know why I don't have more slack in this setup, but I think this was a leftover chain I used. I can't really remember. So I could use a few more links, because the reason why the air filter won't really fit on like this. Well, it could fit like that. That's not the end of the world. Might be kind of trick. I don't know. Might be kind of stupid. Yeah, the throttle cable will come out here. It's kind of nice. I can put a couple of zip ties on it here. And yeah, that'll look pretty cool, and it'll flow really nicely to the handlebars, so that's good. I don't know if I mentioned that I mounted the seat, but it's kind of weird. Let me see if you can get a view under here. It's a motorcycle sissy bar pad is what it is, and the plate inside there was metal or something. I tried to drill in it to put a screw in there, and just nothing was really going in there. So it had 2 bolt holes that were made to mount it to the sissy bar, so, which are, I don't even see my hand here, which are these guys here. Let me focus up. These guys here. So I put some screws in through a piece of plywood, and then I screwed into that with some shallow wood screws. But look at how thin the wood is. I mean, it's not thick at all, so... You know, one yoink on that seat and it's probably off, but that's why I put this some parachute cord on here from the dollar store. $1 for this cool looking green stuff. Believe me, that's not going to budge. That thing is tight as can be. Which I'd prefer to do that than yank on the seat anyway. So yeah, maybe a couple of links are needed. An air filter needs to be ordered. But it's, oh, another thing too I wanted to say is this was a new sprocket I put on this back wheel, and the tire profile I wish was higher. You know, I had a problem with my little Indian, being that when you take a corner, you know, the sprocket would actually dig in. So I'm kind of in search of a higher profile tire, which will probably hit the gas tank. Which means, yeah, I definitely need more links in the chain. Funny, I didn't foresee that when I first put the engine on, but that's the way it is. So this is the way it sits right now. I think it's cool as hell. It's really, like, I think my favorite mini bike right now. I like it. And I can never get far enough away in the basement. Today it's like almost 65 degrees. It's December, what, 19th, I think, or 20th. And it's 62 degrees and pouring rain. You know, 2 weeks ago it was 5 degrees.
Hey, who the hell is that?